Hello everyone and welcome back to World of Warplanes. This time we'll be taking a look at the Tier 9 German heavy fighter, the Messerschmitt 262 HG2. I just recently got this one fully upgraded, but since I've had it fully upgraded, it has done nothing but bring me absolute joy. It's a very fun plane to fly. It's got a gun armament rating of 82, which is really good. But first, let's go over the history of it real quick. Most people recognize and know of the Messerschmitt 262. It's a very famous World War II plane. It first flew in 1944 and was the first jet-powered aircraft to enter or to go into battle, go into war. And that's the 262. This is the 262 HG2, which was a further modification of the 262 that was completed in 1945. However, because it was so late in the war, and they only had one prototype built, it wasn't really going to make any impact on the war. But despite that, this plane was a drastic overhaul from the previous 262 in the sense that it no longer has that T-shaped tail wing and instead has a V-shaped tail wing. I'm not entirely sure if that was good or not. But also you can see they increased the swept wing nature of the wing itself, and that's something that was quite advanced, and even into post-year war years, it took a while for other countries to realize that moving the wings from like a flat, from basically being flat like on this, I mean there's a little bit of a swept on this, but it's more flat, to really going more swept wing, helped with high speeds and allowed it to get through the air a little bit better at high speeds. So this thing had a lot of modern technology in it, even back in 1945. Let's go over what Wargaming says about this plane real quick. The history of it was a further modification of the Me-262A. The prototype first flew in January 1945, with modification improvement continuing until the end of the war. According to one of the sources I was looking at, they said, yes, this prototype was completed. In January 1945. It was test flown, but an accident made it crash, and I think there might have been like one or two others that were built, and the Allies got access to it at the end of the war. But anyway, on to how it performs in game. Well, Wargaming claims that this plane has powerful, large caliber armament, effective against aircraft with high survivability. This plane carries 4 30mm cannons that each have just crazy damage per second rate of fire. Effective range is not the greatest, but it's okay. I mean, yeah, it's not the greatest range compared to some other planes, but it's good. It's good. These guns have high single shot damage, high chance of critical hit, and high rate of fire. That sounds like a recipe for destruction. And it is, because you have 4 of them. You have 4 of those cannons. Big old cannons in the front. It's good survivability, but large dimensions and vulnerable engine. Yeah, I mean, the engines do go out pretty frequently. But yeah, it does have good survivability for a heavy fighter. Ineffective in maneuvering combat. Yeah, this plane is incredibly fast thanks to its 2 Jumo 004E engines. And yeah, it's incredibly fast, and so you're not going to be turning at all. It turns like a boat, but the guns are where it shines. It's got really awesome guns, and it's incredibly fast. Very effective at intercepting aircraft at high altitude. Yes. Its altitude performance is 86, which is incredibly good. I did a test, a vertical test. I was down at the deck, and this thing has a 20-second boost. And so I went vertical, full boost, straight into the sky, reached 15,000 feet before I ran out of boost. And even then, I didn't stall. So the sky is your limit. You can go as vertical as you want or as steep as you want. It's really good. Now this is really interesting. So even though this thing has really good guns and it's really fast, you also get rockets, air-to-air rockets, and bombs. So the Tier 8 version only can mount one or the other. This one can mount both. And that's something that's special even to this plane, because the Tier 10 plane can't even say that. The only thing the Tier 10 plane can mount is bombs. So the 262 HG2 is really unique in that regard. It's the last plane that you get these really awesome air-to-air rockets. Granted, at these higher tiers, because planes start having so much hit points, they're not as effective. You have to really be hitting a lot of your rockets in order to be doing, in order to kill your targets, but it's still good. And yeah, that's basically the 262. It's really fast, really good guns, and it's got nice ordnance. That's the main things. And it can take a hit because it's a heavy fighter. But if you're in a Tier 9 battle and you're going full throttle, literally nothing can keep up with you. You go faster than everything, and it's really cool. It is the king of boom and zoom. Yeah, this is definitely a boom and zoom type plane. And the guns make it so that it's effective at booming and zooming. Whereas some, yeah, you have the speed, you have the altitude performance, but you have no guns to kill anything. That's not the case with this plane. You will destroy things in this one. So, let's go over... I have Universal on right now because it's Invasion, and I have Premium account, so why not? Mount the bombs and rockets. I think they're great. Bombs are great at destroying, at command centers, and you need just a little bit more to tip the scale in your favor. Yeah, they're great. Rockets, awesome air-to-air. You want to try using these rockets head-on with other planes, or if you're going up behind a ground attack plane or bomber and they're going exactly straight and you're like 1,000 feet from them, then yes, then fire your rockets. But I find it a little bit harder to get kills if you're going up behind them. It's a little bit easier if you try to shoot at planes that try going head-on with you. But they're still good. They're really good rockets. And upgrades, I put gyroscopic gun sight on because I want these guns to be super accurate. Because you're so fast, you only have a short window period of time where you can get your shots to fire. So you want to make sure those shots are hitting. You don't want anything missing. So gyroscopic gun sight, which increases the accuracy of your guns. 10% accuracy. And I put reinforced airframe 2, which adds 15% hit points to the plane because I feel like it's got good survivability and you're super fast, and so you just add that little bit of hit points, and also it decreases 10% chance of critical damage to engines, which, as Wargaming mentioned, it has vulnerable engines, and so that kind of negates that a little bit. It just prevents critical damage a little bit, which is nice. And this one, which I haven't really seen on any other plane really, but it's really nice. Get the improved aircraft polish 4. It increases 3% to the maximum airspeed, which really doesn't mean a whole lot. It's not that great. But because you're so fast anyway, any little bit of extra speed's nice. But the reason I got it was 15% to acceleration in a dive. And so, if you have someone on your tail, you're already super fast and you're going to outrun them. But if they are on your tail, just point the nose down a little bit, full throttle. You'll activate this equipment module. You get 15% to acceleration in a dive, and you will just bullet away from them, and they can't do anything about it. I've even run Tier 10 planes, Tier 10 human planes cannot even keep up with the 262 HG2 when it's diving. And I think that speaks a lot about the versatility of this plane. It's amazing. Even Tier 10 battles, few things can keep up with it. But I think that is about it. Oh, and the crew skills. Let's do the crew skills real quick. So, as most of you guys know, I always go for Marksman 1 and Marksman 2. After that, I think either Rocketeer, because you have those rockets and getting those hits are pretty good, but honestly, you have 24 rockets, and so you most likely will kill them anyway. I don't really have an issue with that. So personally, especially since this plane is all about booming and zooming, this is the pure definition of boom and zoom. There's like no other plane that goes this booming and zooming in some ways. So I want to do Engine Guru, which increases engine thrust, and the next one I'll probably do is this one, Engine Guru 2, just because any extra speed on this plane is really good. You'll become the ultimate boomer and zoomer. But I think that's about everything. I'll probably... Now, if you go on the World of Warplanes website, there's actually a little tab that's titled Warplanes, and it's got a compare feature, which is a little bit nice. And I think I like it a little bit more because when you do compares in this one, where you just do aircraft details and you pull up another one, it takes into consideration the equipment and the modules that you have on your plane. And also, if you're stock, it takes into consideration that as well. So, let's say I go to Germany and I right-click on the 262. Actually, let's do one that I don't own, just because. Yak 19, if I do this, it shows you the little mark where it will go when you get the fully upgraded, but it doesn't tell you what that marking is. So when you get all the upgraded modules, it'll go up to here, and your airspeed will go up a little bit. Your survivability might go up like 1 or 2 notches, which is fine, but it doesn't tell you the actual thing. Like 17 is not the number you'll have when you're fully upgraded, and so I want to use that Warplanes compare feature. So I'm going to use that, and I'll post that on top of the screen right now, as long as it works. And yes, let's go into the replay. Alright guys, welcome back. Now this battle is going to be played in the invasion mode, and we are defending. But I wanted to show it off anyway because it was still a good battle, and I think this mode is absolutely amazing for heavy fighters. On the attack, it's not so great, but on the defense, you usually have like 6 ground pounders and maybe a bomber or 2. In this case, we have 5 ground pounders, or either 4 or 5, and 1 bomber, which is good. And so I know this plane does very well against those targets, and because most of the enemy team consists of that, it just helps this plane so much more. In the attacking, it's not so much, because your targets really are fighters that are chasing one of your fighters, but even then they move around a lot, or like heavy fighters, but it's a little bit harder to get kills when you're attacking, and you know, it just favors defense, this mode anyway. But anyway, as you can see, it's already pretty fast. I haven't really activated the boost a whole lot, but it's staying right around 400 miles per hour, which is really fast. I'm coming up to the F2H, trying to get some shots. Now, a couple tricks that I found in this mode is to not try to defend every sector, but just very select few sectors. And in this particular match, I think the 2 most important ones are the airfield and the stronghold. The airfield because you get to repair, and the stronghold, which I'm going to right now, because it's got strong AA defense. And as long as you... So, the airfield, I would suggest defending if you're a fighter and stuff, just because there's a lot of planes and you don't want your bots to just keep dying and losing all your respawns. But I want to defend this stronghold right now in a heavy fighter, because lots of ground attack planes and bombers come without any fighter support. And this thing just chews apart GA and bombers. So I'm just going to feast on these guys the whole battle. And that's why this mode is so great. You just get to shoot so many GAs and bombers and stuff. Especially if you can, as long as you can deal with the bombers and the GA over the strongholds, if any fighters try to come over, they can't affect the stronghold in any way unless they shoot down enemy aircraft or your team's aircraft over the stronghold. So it's just important to really hold the stronghold, because as long as you're dealing with the GA and bombers, the AA guns will deal with the fighters. You won't even have to worry about them. So you come up, shoot down the bomber, absolutely no problem. I'm kind of out of boost because I use it a lot. But coming down, about 500 miles per hour diving speed without even doing boost much. It's really impressive. Come down on the low health IL-40, shut him down. J7W2 wants to go head on with me. Oh no, he's going away. He's pulling away. He gets a couple good hits, hurt him pretty good. Try flipping around again, and I'm not going to go after the J7W2 because actually I will, because he's kind of far away. But you don't want to be turn fighting. That's one thing I want to highlight. But as you can see, if you just get a couple hits, all it takes is just a couple hits and they'll blow up. They'll just explode in your face. IL-40, full health. From full health, it's like 1,600 hit points, and I just ruined him. There's another IL-40. He had 1,000 hit points, and he died. Comes another IL-40. See if I can deal with him. As you can see, my engine just got knocked out, so it is pretty vulnerable. I'm not going to be able to kill him in one pass, because it wasn't really a good angle on it, but even that short amount, I took him out by like 2/3 health. Try to flip around, hoping the FJ1 doesn't kill him, because I want to kill him. Which he doesn't, which is nice, I appreciate that. Oh, and he got bombed. That's cool. Well, we shut him down, we're still good. That other GA is pretty low health, so let's go and shut him down as well. But as you can see, this plane is just eating these GAs and the bombers up, and they can't do anything about it. This plane is amazing. That's where it specializes. If you're going to try going after fighters and heavies, as long as you can get the hits, it's good, but it really does excel at keeping the ground pounders at bay. And as long as you play it like that, and your role really is to destroy and distract and keep those GAs off from pressuring, then you're going to have really awesome games in this plane. IL-40 down from full health. I think I had like 1,700 hit points. Melted that quickly. Just a full burst of my shells, and he's down. That's how fast they die. Which is really nice, because the Tier 8 262 just did not have that potency to those guns. They didn't hit as hard. They didn't have as much oomph. And so that's why this plane is really fun. F2H, I think about going after him, but he's too far away. I'd rather shoot down something different. I see a GA below me, which I want to deal with now, and then I'll go up and deal with the bomber later. So trying to flip around on this GA, it's a little bit difficult, because this plane does not turn. As you can see, once you start going in at something, you gotta commit, and make sure you're at a safe distance when you're turning. You don't want to be close to the enemy. So I saw he was turning away from me, so I'm going to have enough room to flip around. This guy is from my clan, so I'm assuming he's got a pretty good pilot right now. Alright, shot down him. Awesome. So he's down. Now I gotta shoot down Philip again, because he wants the stronghold, and I'm not gonna let him have it. So Philip, I did not kill, unfortunately, but that's okay. As you can see, this whole battle, I've been holding this stronghold And at the end of the battle, they're going to have a very difficult time taking it because most of their GA are gone now. F2H, let's see if I can shut him down. I really want to, but for some reason my shots weren't hitting. I'm a little bit disappointed about that. I felt like those should have hit, but someone else was shooting him already, so there's that weird thing where only one plane can be hitting targets at once, it feels like. Anyway, he's down. Going after the low health, there was 3 GA. I wanted to see which one was the closest and which one was the lowest health. And that Il-40 was the lowest health and it was the closest. So I shot him down. Now, the next one I want to analyze is which one is closest and lowest health. That would be this plane, so I'm coming after him. He's at 1,200 hit points. Not anymore. He's down. That was 15 kills right there. J7W2. Shut him down just as the timer ends. Winged Legend. Awesome battle in invasion. That's a great result. And what's this medal? I've never gotten this medal before. A Spear Thrust. Completed for receiving the Dornier 335A1P file? What? Yep. I had all the other missions done, so I figured I'd try doing this mission again. The mission number 15, as you guys probably saw, I had a battle last weekend where I should have gotten the plane, but I didn't. They released an update where they supposedly fixed the mission. Wargaming still didn't give me the plane, but I completed the mission again last night. It was like 2 o'clock last night, so I was up late, but I got the plane. And surprisingly, I did it in the 262 HG2. It just ruins those GA, and that's why I love it so much. It's a really, really good plane. But as you can see, got the Dornier 335A1P file in my rank 5 pilot. That's super satisfying. Now I just have to do the XF-15C missions. But let's analyze the mission, or that battle. Awesome, I got the plane. Thank you. So, alright, look at the damage done to aerial targets. 15,335 damage to aerial targets. That is outrageous. That is crazy, crazy amount. We got 15,000 personal points, 700 mastery points, which not that much mastery points, but on this mode it's really good. Made 152,000 credits, 7,000 experience. This was a good battle. Now, granted, there wasn't really a whole lot of humans players this battle, but hey, it made it fun for shooting down GA, right? So yeah, that was the Messerschmitt 262 HG2. Do I recommend it? Absolutely. It's a really, really good plane. It's so much fun. I know the 262 Tier 8 plane is not that great, but the HG2 is well worth it, so if you can get past it, please do. Alright, well, let's go over the Dornier 335 real quick. I put Marksman 1 and 2 on it because accuracy, I love accuracy. It was a no-brainer. I was going to do that anyway. It's got bombs. It's got some guns. I'll do a review on it later, but I'm just going to show this off because I'm really satisfied about it. First aid kit, pneumatic restarter, control surfaces. I always do that. No fire extinguisher. Paint shop, it gave me a special paint scheme, so let's put that on there as well and see how that looks. I like that paint scheme. That looks nice. I like it. It looks German. It looks like a German paint scheme. It's good. I like it. Emblems, you can't put your beta sticker on, which is sad. Same with the 262. There's no gift paint or emblem that you can put on there, unfortunately. That's free. But I just put the Luck of the Irish on there because I felt like I was pretty lucky to get that battle. So that's that. Do I do anything else? I think I put like an upgrade on there. I played it last night for a little while and I wasn't getting a very good matchmaker, but once I play it a little bit more, I'll put a review up there for you guys. But anyway, Whoa, I just noticed that module that I have on the 262 HG2, on this plane it adds a 25% increase to acceleration in a dive. Alright, that module is going on in this plane. That's a good module. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below if you think the HG2 is worth it. And also, let me know, did you guys get the Dornier 335 yet? Or do you gotta wait for next weekend to finish up those missions? As always, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time.